Hey, Anime Addicts, this podcast is brought to you by nobody. And if you want to help keep this podcast ad-free, you can go to www.aa. You know what? Honestly, guys, if you haven't supported the podcast by now, there's literally nothing I can do to make you support the podcast. Even the sight of my tears and my begging and crying and clawing will not get you to support the podcast. But if you did find it in your heart somewhere to support us, you can do it over at aapodcast.com/join. You can also go to patreon.com/AAApodcast. Throw us a couple bones. We will be ad-free. You'll get hentai. You'll get hobby addicts. You'll get... You know what we have. Honestly, just help us out. We're desperate here. Time to start the show.
Get ready! You're about to listen to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Make your anime addiction worse at aapodcast.com. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Yo, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Mitsugi here. Welcome to episode 640 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Our sole mission is to make your anime addiction, it's so much worse. That's what we're doing up in this house. Got my sunglasses on. I also have a cocktail in a Saiyans glass from way back. We got Beefeater's gin and Pink Monster, baby, lifting it up to the next level. And speaking of next level, we also have Caroline. She's rocking the twin tails just for all you. Oh, she's putting her sunglasses on. Oh,
sort of trying. A little bit hard with the.
But she's got her twin tails on for all you fanboys.
Why do you guys keep your sunglasses in your house? What are they doing there?
Those two. Now that matchy. Hello, I am joining Mitz in a little celebration here with some Blue Moon because Mr. Mitz is now Mr. and Mrs. Mitz. Hey,
That's
how
right.
about that?
That's right. Yep, that's exactly right. And for those of you fans out there, I'll just tell you that the Mrs., her middle name is Jo, and my last name starts with the letters J-O, so she's now JoJo. She's got her in stand too. So
JoJo Pancake.
Yeah, JoJo Pancake. I was a bean. Then I was a fancy bean, and now I'm a husbean, as she would put it. So happy to be here. We also have Mason. He's in the house. He is looking very. He gets even more handsome with his haircut. He's back in his normal room. Mason, how are you doing?
We're back. We're actually a little sick, a little under the weather, so we're going to keep this very subdued, very laid back, not at all spastic. Just real smooth today. That's how we're going to play it.
Smooth like the man.
Real cool.
So we're also, if you want to follow us, guys, on social media, we're on twitch.tv/AAA podcast. We did start 20 minutes late today, so people are probably checked out already, but hey, it'll be worth the wait, I promise. We're on Twitter, of course. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. This is Caroline's domain. If you don't visit these places, she'll fuck you up. So I happen to know that's true.
I've been kind of slow on the TikToks lately. It's yeah, I'm having some hard time coming up with ideas. And when I did come up with an idea this week, it just decided not to work. So therefore, there was nothing.
You're giving them an out. Interesting.
Well, I try.
We're also on Discord, guys. Discord is where you want to be. If you go to the website, aapodcast.com, the Discord button's on the top. It'll take you straight to our Discord. It'll invite you automatically. We have so many events on our Discord. I'm pretty sure probably more events than any other podcast of this size would do. We just did our waifu war. We do anime watch parties. I see people watching anime together every Saturday night, which is great. Anime club, all this stuff. Head over to the Discord, make it worth your while. Speaking of the Discord, we have our listener choice results for summer 2022, and they are shocking, I will say. and we're going to go through them right now. And if you were on the Discord, you would have pretty much first priority to vote because that's where I drop the poll, at least initially. Mason, you want to run these down for us?
Sure. Are you going to drop those fancy number drops for us?
I can. Do you feel like you?
I just was expecting it.
Number 4.
That's right. We had 4 listener choices because I was a coward and couldn't pick. And speaking of me being a coward, the number 4 one is Cyberpunk Edge Runner. This is the upcoming September show by Studio Trigger. It's not even out yet, but you guys still felt it had enough potential that you voted it in. So we will be reviewing that.
Number 3.
You guys certainly like your isekai with Harem in the Labyrinth of Anime World? Another World? I forget what it was called. I think that was one of yours, Mitz. Yeah, how did this get passed?
So jazzed.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, but I'm just shocked, honestly. The subject matter is pretty raw, so we got a lot of perverts out there. We have proven this now. So, oh, you're waiting for your drop. Sorry.
Number 2.
Another isekai surprise. We have Uncle from Another World. So, Sega fanboys unite.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Going 3 for 3 for Mitz's fails being a pass. Yeah. We have Lycoris Recoil. So, Mitz, how do you feel when all the shows you failed got passed?
I don't know. I just feel like I picked all the shows everybody wanted to watch this time around. I feel like a winner. I'm basking in the glow of affirmation of the fans, and it does feel pretty good, especially since I'll have to watch 9 less anime episodes than the rest of you because I've already seen a bunch of these. So
it makes much of a difference.
Honestly, Licorice Recoil. It was 60% of you voted for it, so that's a lot. That's up there with didn't we have one recently? I think Caroline failed one recently that she should not have. And it got
Spy X Family.
Spy Family got 80%. So this is up there with that.
Let's not reopen that wound.
So, Licorice Recoil, it wasn't terrible. Isekai Oji-san, I didn't like it, but Pancake did. So I don't know. The Harem show, it had a really good second episode. I'll say that. I don't know if it's going to have any other good episodes. And Cyberpunk Edge Runner, I don't know anything about it. So. But those are your listener choice picks for summer. Well done, guys, and we will get to those, when we have time. Moving on, we have what are we doing this episode? Well, we are bringing on a special guest from the podcast who's been on this podcast once before. You may remember when we get there. But we're going to be playing a game of Who Wants to Be an Anime Millionaire. Actually, 3 games. We have a game made for each of us, and we will see who can win the most money in this and. It'll be fun. Also, Mason...
Will there be a monetary prize, Mitsugi?
Hey, you never know.
Will you send the winner some more Dairy Queen through DoorDash?
Well, that could happen. If you're jonesing for some Dairy Queen, it could happen. We'll just say. I'll put that on the table. Mason went to, I guess, a theater and saw Inu O. So that should be pretty good. We're gonna give you a sneak peek on our thoughts of a new anime film that just came out. And I already have my tickets for Dragon Ball Super, so then that's not going to get talked about, though, until episode 642. So don't get too excited. It won't be next week. It'll be the week after. And then we're going to do a review of Ryman's Club. So Salaryman and Badminton combines in Ryman's Club. So should be cool. Club. Oh, I'm fucking jazzed. And I got my drink. You guys ready for the big news?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Sipping on gin and juice.
It's time for big news of the week.
Laid back. So some bad news for anime. So I actually thought anime was like stomping throats lately, but apparently that's not the case. So it's so crazy. It seems like everybody I know now watches anime, whether they are anime fans or not from their origin. Like some people have watched anime since the beginning of their life, like me. And then there's some people that just pick it up randomly. And for example, I recommended Castlevania to my buddy who doesn't know shit about animation or anything, and he watched all 4 seasons and thought it was fucking incredible. That's a guy that'll get converted to anime because Castlevania is so fucking amazing. But alas, anime is not doing too well. So there's a report that comes out annually by Teikoku Databank, and Japan has some statistical data for the anime industry. The total anime industry revenue for people are going to be so like people are going to be like falling asleep here probably, but just bear with me here. So the total anime industry revenue for 2021 was $1.9 billion, which is 5% lower than 2020. So that's a pretty substantial contraction over year for the anime industry. 5% is a lot. This marks the first time since at least 2000 that the anime industry has had any contraction for 2 consecutive years. So it's been contracting now. It's probably COVID that's doing this. Japan is, for a country that's like so focused on health and like everyone falls in line when they need to help out the greater good. Japan has just not gotten their shit together on COVID. I'm kind of stunned. Like, you can't go there still. I don't know where it's coming from, but they're having like their worst COVID spike right now. The average, this is the bad news that we're getting to it. The average revenue for an anime company in 2021 was $6 million, which is down from prior years. So the average anime studio or company makes $6 million a year. And the report noted, and this is why the article came out, 40% of the 309 anime production companies that were surveyed had posted a loss in 2021. So that means that 4 out of 10 companies that make anime in Japan lost money last year. So that ain't good. That's pretty bad. And that's up from almost a full percent the year before. So also 63% of anime companies that specialize in contract work, which would be like in-betweens and backgrounds, also lost money. So this is bad. According to the Japanese Association of Animations, the number, and this is, oh my God, I've been asking for this for years. The number of television anime titles dropped for a 4th straight year in 2020. So this data is a little behind. So it dropped by over 80 from its peak of 280. So we had talked about how like there's so many anime that come out, and there's only the same amount of people doing production for anime. So the anime, that's my theory on why the anime quality seems to be lower lately. Like the animation is not as good. There's too many anime, not enough people to make it. And so we're down by 80 from its peak of 280. So that's probably a good thing, honestly. Like, you got to ask yourself if you'd rather have like unlimited anime to watch but have them all look like shit, or if you'd rather have a little less anime and have them look decent. That's a quantity over quality conversation, but all in all, I think COVID has not been good for anime, and it's really hurting these companies a lot. So ideally, we'll get through this pretty soon. You guys have any comments?
I don't know if if there's a drop in quantity, I don't know if that's a direct meaning that there will be a higher quality, because if it's already dropped and you look at this season, a lot of the shows kind of look like crap.
I mean, it could be true that they would make less shows and still not increase the quality, which would really be a shame. And they could do that to try to like save money. My theory is that like there's not enough quality writers, not enough people to like, not enough key animators to fix the work of like the underlings and stuff like that to like make sure anime looks decent. Do you have any thoughts? I know your throat hurts, Mason. You want some Beefeater's gin? I got a lot here. It's a brand new bottle. I can't drink all this.
Chug away.
No, it's for you. It's for you.
Oh no, I've got my tub of water to keep me occupied.
You need some like Earl Grey tea. That's what you need.
Had some honey and lemon tea earlier, and I got a big old bag of lozenges or whatever to keep me going.
Gargled salt water?
No, because that's gross. No, I don't have salt water on my hand.
Can I just say, Mason, that real quick? I'm surprised any illness would want to enter your body, because you're such a badass that like I don't know how any illness would want to take you on, honestly. Like you're basically in your prime, and like I wouldn't want to fuck with you.
That gin's fitting, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as this goes, it's upsetting, but I think just anime has been on such a boom recently that I think it's only natural that we do get some sort of pullback. Like, and nothing is able to be sustained at the high level of growth that it has been. So I would bet if we looked at year over year, where the anime industry as a whole is still doing pretty all right.
Yeah.
So yes, red is no good, but it's not the end of the world. But make sure you do support the anime industry, that you're not just pirating everything, not supporting conventions or buying stuff. Like, obviously, it's not like, oh, you have to buy stuff or else you're a bad fan. Obviously, do what you can afford, but if there's something you really enjoy and you have the budget for it, the support of people is how these things continue to get made. Go to the theater, see the movies, do this, do that, and that's how we can do our small role in helping to keep this medium alive. Not that it's on a deathbed or anything, but
no, not at all. Anime is so big now. Like I don't even feel like self-conscious about discussing it because it's just like everybody. I was at dinner the other night with Pancake's best friend and her boyfriend who flew in, and I just met like these random people. I don't know. They were just like friends of. Check this out. Friends of Pancake's best friend's boyfriend. You can work out that math.
Mother's brother's nephew's former roommate.
And I swear to God,
my stepmother's daughter is my ex.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you go. I'm surprised we didn't end up watching that, by the way.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised too. I wouldn't have minded too much.
Yeah, I'm sure it's delightful trash. But we ended up talking about anime for like 80% of the dinner, just with people I'd never met. I didn't know they watched anime. And it was like, I'm like, here's my podcast. Here's what you should be watching if you want to watch more of something like this. So I'm trying to like make recommendations. That's the point we're at. Anime is like, it's not a subculture anymore. It's becoming mainstream. And I'm honestly shocked. I think as soon as COVID ends, the industry is going to explode. You're going to have a massive year where people are just like absolutely hankering to like spend their money and go do stuff. And they're just going to like dump on the anime industry. And it's going to be awesome. Anyway, Caroline, what do you got?
Well, speaking on dumping money on things, let's talk about Disney Plus, shall we? Because even though it's already $7.99 per month to watch the shows on Disney Plus, which isn't all that bad, they will now be launching an ad-supported subscription tier that is $7.99. But you'll say, wait a minute, that's the price you're paying right now for ad-free stuff. Yes, because on December 8th, when they launch this service, or this tiered subscription service, you will now have to pay $10.99 to watch what you are watching now for $7.99 without ads.
That's a big increase.
Yeah, so if you want to continue paying the price that you are already paying, $7.99, you will have to watch ads starting December 8th.
I did hear, though, that and this is amazing that it happened so fast, but it just shows you how powerful Disney is. Disney actually overtook Netflix as the #1 streaming platform.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't quite hear about that, but it's just ridiculous. And it's even more ridiculous to us because Disney Plus is starting to get into the whole anime streaming stuff, and yet they still have not released a single thing to the United States. So whenever Summertime Render comes out of anime jail, as well as all the other stuff that they're going to have, like I think it was like Black Rock Shooter, which is probably not on there, and they're going to have Tatami Galaxy, but who knows when that will be on there. We will either have to increase our subscription or watch with ads. That is to say, if you do have Disney Plus, which I do, but if you don't, then it's probably not going to make you any more likely to go get it.
As of this past week, Disney has overtaken Netflix in the race for paid subscribers, reporting 221.1 million subscribers across its 3 streaming platforms as of the start of July. That's a fucking ton of people. That's like almost everybody. That's like 70%. That's like 65% of the U.S. That's a lot of people. So.
I mean, they do have quite a few good stuff on there.
Pirate everything.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you just can't keep going, you know? So I would definitely recommend support the industry, but at a certain point, it's okay not to.
You know, I recently canceled Peacock, and I was going to cancel Retro Crush too. But then I went on Retro Crush without my login, and I realized that they make you watch like 11 commercials before every anime, and I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I can't watch 20 minutes of commercials to watch one episode of City Hunter. It's just killing me.
It
Well,
really
somebody
is turning into Sony versus Disney as the two like monoliths.
That's true. You ain't
Well,
wrong.
somebody added a note to my little notes here saying that they just added Bleach's upcoming final arc to their license as well. So
Yeah, that's
Netflix,
been
Netflix
reported.
jail for everyone, or no, Disney Plus jail for everyone.
Yay!
Whoop whoop.
Do you have anything else
but-
you want to talk about, Caroline, or do you want to
Yeah.
pass it on?
I mean, I have a second thing. It's pretty quick. But the official Twitter account for Ranking of Kings have announced that the anime will have a special episode titled Ranking of Kings Treasure Chest of Courage, and it'll be coming out sometime next year. It will tell a story that has not yet been seen in the original anime and will feature returning cast and staff. So it's just like a little one-off episode that they're going to be releasing. So yay!
I still haven't watched the Dr. Stone movie.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I
I
totally
know.
forgot it came out. I haven't
Fuck
seen
me.
it either.
Shame on me. I don't even know where to watch it.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Oh, fuck. I need to watch that ASAP then. I'm such
Yeah,
a
you
bad
do.
fan.
Fake fan.
Fake fan. All right, Mason. What do you got? This is
I've got
big.
a manga announcement that's finally being made into an anime. The well-regarded seinen property Delicious in Dungeon, aka Dungeon Meshi, after all this time. It's been around for a while. I was surprised it's actually taken this long, but with 12 volumes currently out, and it reaching a climax, it got announced that Studio Trigger will be adapting it, which is a bit of a surprise. Obviously, they did a promotional commercial a couple years back, so maybe it makes sense, but it's just not their typical visual foray. But nonetheless, it's a very fun D&D inspired dungeon crawling foodie manga, and it's a pretty fun time. So it's got well received reviews. I enjoyed the couple volumes I read of it. So no announcement date yet, but get hyped if you like a weird monster food. It's like Drifting Dragons with a little more humor. So it's a good time.
I'm sure that somewhere Mandy's very happy. Because I remember she talked about Dungeon Meshi like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
So she's
it's
very
been
excited.
around for a while. So interesting that they decided to wait so long. It's not like it's a very episodic type of story, so it's not like they needed it to reach a conclusion. But nonetheless, hey, glad it's finally coming, and Studio Trigger should make it fun. Hopefully, it looks very Ranking of Kings inspired.
Ooh, yeah. I recommended Ranking of Kings at that dinner the other night.
There you go.
And also Monster, and also Space Brothers, and also Rurouni Kenshin, and also Yu Yu Hakusho.
Classic mitts.
Lots of other stuff. So they were like, my favorite anime is Hunter x Hunter. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Have you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho? No. Okay, you better watch it. You better go get it. Have you watched Rurouni Kenshin? No. Okay, you better go watch Rurouni Kenshin.
Okay, I cannot remember how many shows you mentioned that I have not seen, so I'm just going to eat 5 jelly beans. By the way, as of right now, before I eat these 5 jelly beans, I have 23 jelly beans left. So we could be getting through these jelly beans this episode, by the way. Exciting things. I know what you said was more than 5, but I cannot figure out how many.
You're doing God's work. Jelly beans are
I
very
am.
important.
1,095 jelly beans later. Here I am.
I will say though that gummy worms are they're gonna beat jelly beans in like a basketball game like 100-20. It's not even close. Gummy worms are
in a
the
basketball
shit.
game?
Yeah, I'm just I'm putting it in
Gummy
perspective.
worms play basketball with jelly beans.
Gummy
They're not
worms,
opponents.
gummy worms and gummy bears, they walk all over jelly beans. Okay, you
Sure,
really
but I don't see either playing basketball very well.
Well, the bears would probably be the best because at least they have arms.
They have hands,
So
at least.
they have hands of some kind. And also, if you want to be truly terrified about the woods, go look up how smart bears are. They are a little too smart for their own good.
This is an anime podcast, right?
It is.
Gummy worms would destroy gummy bears in pseudo jelly basketball.
All right.
They've got the height. Anyway,
They have no
moving on.
hands.
We are going to move on to our main
Doesn't
topic.
matter.
Listen, we're going to move on to our main topic because I am getting intoxicated and we need to get through this quickly. I'm just kidding. So, I thought, let's play a fun game. And we have a group on the Discord that plays trivia games every week. We have our Game & Watch organization, which is active every week. And I said, well, wouldn't it be fun if we played a game on the Discord that was semi-sponsored by that group. And so I said, please, we want to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but with anime questions. And I said, and I want to see who can get the highest points in the game. And so I'm gonna see this. Let's see if I can pull this off. So I invited Raggedy Doctor to come on the Discord. To come on from the Discord and sponsor our game for today. So we're gonna do this. So Raggedy Doctor, how are you? And please,
hello.
Introduce yourself again, because you were on the podcast quite some time ago.
Yes, I was. I am Raggedy Doctor. For those of you who don't know me, I was on the dating game show about a year ago with my wife, and pretty much since January, I've been running once a month trivia nights on the Discord.
And let's not forget that you ask probably some of the most consistent mailbag questions. So your proclivity for trivia is
about
well known.
Yotaru Vegeta?
Wow.
I'm saying they're up there. They're up there.
He's been around
And you
a little
are an
longer than I
actual
have.
doctor.
Yes, I am an actual doctor, and I'm also a very raggedy man.
You don't look very raggedy. You look very well kept, actually.
It's all a facade.
Oh, okay. I see. So what do you have for us today?
So we have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Very simple, pretty much based off of the TV show that most of us probably already know, but just in case you don't, there's going to be 15 multiple choice questions. If you answer all of them correctly in a row, you win the $1 million. Each question is worth increasing amounts of points, so therefore they will be increasingly more difficult. The first 5 will be pretty easy, middle 5 a little harder, last 5 will be very hard. You have 3 lifelines that you can use. We're going to tweak them a little bit for the show today. The 50-50 will play like the normal 50-50, cutting your answer choices in half. For Ask the Audience, we're going to have our Twitch chat post in what they think the answer is, and whoever's playing can then look through the Twitch chat and try and see if they get a helpful answer from them. And lastly, we have Phone a Friend. You'll have 30 seconds to speak with one of the other hosts to try and see if they can help you figure out the answer to the question. There are 2 milestones. There's the $1,000 milestone and the $25,000 milestone, where you will not lose any money below that. And once you hit the $1,000 mark, you can walk away at any question and try and be the one who has the most money at the end of the game. And that's pretty much it.
Can I request that we start with me, because I am drinking? And
yeah, you'll only get even more inebriated every single second.
Yeah.
Lucky for you, game 1 is your game.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I guess I didn't even have to ask.
Let's get started, people.
All set up and ready to go. I will just ask that you let me finish the full question and the answer choices for everyone listening at home who can't see the Twitch. So let's go through question 1. What is the name of Boruto's dad's son? A. Naruto, B. Boruto, C. Minato, or D. Dorito?
Boruto's dad's son? Oh, okay.
Don't think too hard.
I'm just drunk enough to miss this one. Boruto's dad is Naruto, but Boruto's dad's son is just Boruto again. So I'm going to say my answer is B, Boruto. Final answer.
Final answer. All right, no suspense. That's correct.
You are familiar with the Boruto dad's meme, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
It's because once Boruto came out, everybody just started referring Naruto as to Boruto's dad, because they're just adding more importance to Boruto.
Well, I'm glad I was able to do the math on that on my own, and not fuck up on the. I have seen people fuck up on the.
Legit really helped, didn't it?
No, it's not helping at all right now, actually.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on to question number 2 for $200. What is Vash the Stampede's bounty in Trigun? Is it 60 billion Woolong, 60 billion double dollars, 60 billion pesos, or 60 billion Dogecoin?
Oh my god. I wish I had 60 billion Dogecoin. That would be so great. It's B again. 60 billion double dollars.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, and you are correct.
Oh my God, I'm
Pretty
so
easy
smart.
so far. On to the next one. $300. The phone wave, name subject to change, is the invention of which evil organization from Steins Gate? Is it A, Omni Consumer Products, B, CERN, C, Future Gadget Laboratories, or D, the Walt Disney Corporation?
Well, see, CERN is from Evangelion. Walt Disney is from...
Arguably the most evil.
The most evil of all. Wow. It could be A or C. I don't remember jack shit about Steins Gate in detail. Omni Consumer Products, Future Gadget Laboratory. It's probably C, but I'm not 100% sure about this.
All right. Well, you have your lifelines. You can try and save them for later and gamble it on a lower question. You have your options.
I will say to the Twitch chat, please do not share your answers unless we specifically say we're asking the audience.
Yeah, they're wrong anyway because they're giving me wrong answers, so they're not. Really trustworthy.
I didn't even notice.
They're not trustworthy to begin with. I really need A or C removed from this, and I never thought I'd win this anyway, so I'm going to use my 50-50 and just play the odds and hope it doesn't get rid of B and D.
All right. Let's see what it gets rid of. 50-50.
Okay,
all right.
good.
All right.
It's the answer C, Future Gadget Laboratory.
So CERN is not just from Evangelion. Actually.
Well, I sure hope it's not the right answer because that would be very shitty.
Well, it is also from Steins Gate. And it is an evil organization, but they're not the ones who invented the phone.
What kind of a $300 question is that? That's fucked up.
That's a tricky one.
Jeez Louise,
you still managed
I'm
to get
screwed.
it.
Yeah, because CERN is from both.
Oh my God,
CERN is
okay.
from both.
It's a bad name. Why do they use it in two different anime?
I don't know.
Because it's the same name as that lab in Sweden or Switzerland or whatever. CERN with a C. That's why they use it. Anyway,
yeah.
Moving on. Something hopefully a little more easier for you. Which of the following is not a nickname or ring name used by the protagonist of Megalobox? A, Fujin, B, Nomad, C, Gearless Joe, or D, Junk Dog?
I know Fujin's from Final Fantasy. There's Ray, Raijin, and Fujin. So Nomad is definitely the name of the second season of whatever the hell the anime is called, Megalobox. It's A. I think it's Fujin.
You know where Fujin's also from?
I'd love to know.
It's from Ippo. Fujin's one of the ring names used in Ippo.
I'm pretty sure it's right though, isn't it?
It is correct.
All right, let's keep it going, baby. I'm buying myself Dairy Queen today.
Good questions. I like it.
I'm buying myself
Alrighty.
Dairy Queen. Let's go.
So now, if you get this question right for the $1,000, you've hit our first milestone.
Oh fuck yeah, I will.
In the initial D series, Takumi is usually given a cup filled with what type of liquid that he is not allowed to spill a single drop of when making his morning tofu deliveries? Is it A, coffee, B, green tea, C, miso soup, or is it D, water?
It's water, baby. D. Final answer.
Final answer. And that's correct. You've hit the $1,000.
Nice. Congrats. I'll drink to water.
Yeah, baby. Mason's going to drink the water. I made it to like the point where if you miss one, you don't totally embarrass yourself.
Correct. Now, if anything you miss from now on, you still get the $1,000.
Oh my God, bro.
Now, in what year does the anime Space Brothers take place? Is it A, 2010, B, 2015, C, 2020, or is it D, 2025?
Bro, how is this $1,000 question? Oh my God. Wow. Space Brothers is pretty old. Anime came out like 8 years ago or something. But I don't know if it's set in the future or not. Caroline clearly doesn't even know this anime because she just ate a jelly bean to it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to take it. Oh, my God, I've been totally oblivious to the game. I have not been
You've been
counting my
immersed.
jelly
You've been
beans.
so immersed.
Oh
You're just
man.
plowing through jelly beans at this
Okay,
point.
I'm gonna do 3 collectively.
This is not an easy question at all. Jesus, good lord.
Yeah, a little harder.
Man, it would really be disappointing to go out on $1,000. I feel like I could ask Mason, but I'm not pretty convinced Mason's going to know this. But Mason probably knows more than
I'm
our
looking at
Twitch
my
chat.
Space Brothers manga right now. I have it
You're
within my
staring
sights.
Staring right at it.
I wanna call Mason
reach
for
out?
help because
All right.
I don't know if this is set in the future or not or set in present day.
Gotcha. All right, I will start the timer. You guys have 30 seconds to discuss, starting now.
Mason, what's the answer?
Are we doing it like real Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where he has to like read me the
Nah,
question?
you-
Okay.
Yes, 3
Mason,
seconds.
in what
It's
year
not
does
good.
the anime Space Brothers take place? Is it A, 2010, B, 2015, C, 2020, or D, 2025?
So I can't tell you exactly when it is, but I know it is in the future, and I think it's 2025 because of that.
How are your pets doing, Mason? Are you doing okay? Oh wait,
They're fine.
wait,
They
we only have
got
3
a
seconds
heart on
left.
their
Okay,
butt.
bye.
All right, that's it. Did that
Jeez.
conversation help at all?
Well, I don't know if it did or not. I guess I have no choice. I'm going with D, 2025.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, it's a fucking hard question. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, good thing you went with that because it is correct. It is
Oh,
set
Mason!
in-
Woo!
It is
Listen,
in
I'm
fact-
not going to get any of my questions right, so at least I got to help someone else.
Jeez Louise,
All right,
though,
Brent.
bro.
All right, let's go on.
So
to the
I only
next
have the
one.
Twitch chat left, so
Yeah, and that's probably the least helpful one.
Well, they have internet.
right.
They're probably going to look up the answers online just in case anyway.
oh, this is not
All
easy
right.
either.
What is Revi's nickname in Black Lagoon? Is it A, the
Fuck.
Reaper, B, Two Hands, C, Bloodhound, or D, Angel? This is for $4,000.
Wow. These
Talk
are
it
not
out.
easy
Talk out,
questions, my
Fancy.
friend. The Reaper, she's not an angel, that's for fucking sure. So that's
right.
probably not it. She does have at least one handgun. The Reaper sounds good. Bloodhound sounds good too. Wow. I'm gonna poll the Twitch audience here. I wanna see what the I want to
All
see
right,
what the
Twitch
Twitch
audience,
says.
Please help out the Pope. Give him some clues.
Yeah.
Give him a few seconds to catch up and
Damn.
type it out.
Yeah, I'm actually quaking in my boots now for when it's my turn because
These are not easy.
I like them. They're good questions though.
All right, the Twitch
They're
is
good.
pretty much all the Twitch is saying 2 hands, so I'm going with B,
So-
2 hands.
Two hands. Is that your final answer? Putting your hands in the Twitch chat.
I guess, yeah.
All right, let's see. And that is
It's got to be right.
correct.
Yeah, there we go.
It's
Fuck
correct. 2 hands for the 2 guns that she wields. Very
Good job,
very
Twitch.
good. Twitch has got your back. All out of lifelines. You're out here on your own.
Yeah.
Let's try
What-
for the next one.
What am I trying for right now? 8,000?
This is for $8,000, so about halfway.
Oh boy. Okay.
Who was the former commander of the Survey Corps prior to Erwin Smith? Is it A, Kenny Ackerman, B, Dot Tixis,
Oh my god.
C, Keith Shottis, or D, no one? Erwin founded the Survey Corps.
I don't know if I'm just stupid or what.
Or a little intoxicated.
I mean, I don't know that that's it. Irwin takes over, but that's pretty early. I feel like Irwin was old, but he didn't found it. Irwin's way too young. It's not D.
All right. Now looking at, you've eliminated D from what you're thinking about.
Yeah,
What
I don't
about the
think
rest
it's
of them?
D. Kenny Ackerman. No. I'd remember that. I don't think it's A either.
So now you're kind of between B and C, it sounds like.
Yeah, B and C. I don't really even remember a character named Keith Shottis.
I remember him.
Oh.
Caroline.
I know the answer.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Well, shame I can't ask you.
It's a shame. So you can try and go and get a lucky guess in, or you can always walk.
I'm not walking.
4,000.
I'm not
Who would
walking. It
walk?
was only $2,000. I mean, that's some
I'm
horseshit.
just letting you know you have the option.
Dot Pixis, isn't he the fucking grumpy guy with the mustache?
That's not very specific.
There are a lot of grumpy guys with mustaches in Attack on Titan.
No. So I think you're mishearing it. It's not who is the founder. It's who was the guy right before Irwin.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with C. I think Caroline gave me enough info with by chiming in.
I
Think so?
I don't know the answer, so I'm just guessing. Yes, C.
All right. Well, your guess has been pretty good so far.
Oh my god!
I think I probably should have kept my mouth shut on that
one. Baby's playing for Dairy Queen today. Let's fucking go. Keep it rolling.
All right.
I'll keep quiet from now on, guys. Sorry.
All right. Here
$16,000. Now I'm getting to the point where people don't embarrass themselves.
Yeah. All right. Of the following, who has not killed Krillin in the Dragon Ball franchise? A. Tambourine, B. Nappa, C. Frieza, or D. Boo?
Has not killed him. It's B. Nappa.
That's quick on the gun. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
And I'm not even gonna leave you hanging. That's correct.
Your boy knows Dragon Ball. I'll say that much.
That's from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
He's the first one that kills Krillin.
Yeah, definitely not Nappa, because Goku flies in there and fucks his day up.
Is Krillin the Kenny of Dragon Ball?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
He dies several times. He's died a lot of times.
Yeah, I could have made this question much longer.
Oh, I'm at the milestone now. Let's fucking go.
Well, this is for the milestone.
Oh, yeah.
$25,000. In her introductory episode, the hacker Radical Edward is rumored to be multiple things, including an ex-basketball pro, a Hindu guru, an alien, and what else?
Jesus.
Is it A, drag queen, B, trucker, C, an AI or artificial intelligence, or D, a lawyer? This is a big one. Gets you to that $25,000 checkpoint.
They're very outlandish things that they say he is or she. I don't know. Whatever. They don't even know. Ex-basketball pro, Hindu guru, alien. Those are all pretty outlandish. Lawyer and trucker, not outlandish. So I can probably eliminate those two. And drag queen or AI? Those are pretty. Those are both pretty a little wilder than a lawyer.
Tough choice.
It's a tough choice, my man. I'm gonna have to go in the essence of not making people listening wait for too long.
You just gotta go with your gut.
I'm gonna go with A, drag queen.
Is that your final answer? I'm gonna assume that's your final answer.
That's my final answer.
And that's correct.
Wow.
The milestone. Very
Fucking
good.
bring it. Bring the heat.
The
Baby's
AI
at the milestone.
Yes, the AI is the villain from the episode where Radical Edward first appears. All right, $50,000. This is a free guess because you've hit your milestone, but let's make it count. What did Edward Elric lose after attempting human transmutation? Is it A, right leg, right arm, B, right leg, left arm, C, left leg, right arm, or D, left leg and left arm?
I'm not walking away with the money. I'm playing for keeps, baby.
I mean, you have a free guess even if you were going for the walk. So there's no.
I don't know. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna say left leg, right arm. Final answer.
Your guesses have been on fire.
Oh my god!
What? Really?
He can't be stopped.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's right. You have to remember they're on opposite sides. That's his right arm and his left leg. The Pope is flying to the moon.
God.
All right. Let's see if we can keep it going.
$100,000, baby.
$100,000 question. Which author adapted the
Oh my
screenplay for the English dubbing of Princess Mononoke? Is it A, Stephen King, B, Neil Gaiman, C, Terry Pratchett, or D, Haruki Murakami?
Wow. What a hard fucking question.
I mean, this is for a lot of money.
I'm not taking the money, though. I'm not walking away with a fake 50,000. I have no idea. I'm gonna say.
You know who any of these people are? I hope you do.
I know one of them. I'm gonna say B, Neil Gaiman. Total blind guess.
You need to go and go play lottery or something, because you are still correct.
Oh my god! Incredible.
You need to take this book somewhere where there's actual
Daddy's
money.
playing for Dairy Queen. That's right.
Wow, you've been on a run without any help. So let's see if we can go for the $200,000 question. What is the name of Cream the Rabbit's mother in the series Sonic X?
Oh my god.
Is it A, Sugar, B, Lily, C, Rose, or D, Vanilla?
I knew I should have watched more Sonic X.
Oh, yep.
You're gonna down me on a Sonic question? You know how cruel that is?
Wait. Oh, it's intended to be cruel.
I'm gonna say I've never heard of this character before, actually. But cream does have sugar in it, usually. I don't know. It could be any of these. Fucking A. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say A, sugar. It just jumps out at me.
Jumps out at you. That gonna be your final answer?
Final answer.
I'm so sorry, Sonic took you out.
My second guess was vanilla, but I don't know.
That was the correct answer.
It's the right answer. Oh no.
It was vanilla. So you unfortunately end up walking away with $25,000. Nothing to scoff at. That run was pretty impressive.
Legendary.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, it depends. What he has. Does he have it already set up?
I can do whatever we want.
Let's just go whoever you had it set up for.
All right. So next up is Caroline.
Yay!
Time to get in the hot seat.
All right. Let's see how I can do this.
All right. Swap into the hot seat. Let's get this one.
Get it,
going.
Caroline.
Back to the easy questions. $100 to start. Finish the title. How a realist hero rebuilt the blank. A, wall, B, house, C, kingdom, D, the hatred in Caroline's heart.
As much as D is accurate, the answer is C, the kingdom.
Is that your final answer?
It is my final answer.
All right, very good. And when tormented you enough, I would hope you know the name of the show.
Yeah, right. I do rant about it quite a bit.
Okay, on to question number 2 for $200. What are the powers from My Hero Academia known as? Is it A, quirks, B, talents, C, mutations, or D, shonen bullshit?
Well, A and D mean the same thing, but the correct answer is A.
Hey. Gotta do my boy Bakugo like that. That is correct. $200 in the bank.
All right. Let's keep it going.
Now, 300. Taiga Ayasuka from Toradora is sometimes referred to by her nickname, the Palm Top what? Would that be A, sloth, B, tiger, C, T-Rex, or D, Pikachu?
That would be B, the Palm Top Tiger.
Palm Top Tongue Twister. Is that your final answer?
Yes, it is.
All right. Very good. Moving on. For $500, Rika Takanashi from Love, Shibio, and Other Delusions wears an eye patch over her right eye in order to keep her tyrant's eye sealed. But what color is the tyrant's eye? Is it A, cyan, B, red, C, green, or is it D, gold?
It would be D, gold.
Damn, she's so confident.
She's going.
Well, I know these shows very well.
Is that your
One thing
answer?
that I have going for me is I haven't seen as many shows as you have, so what I do know is pretty locked in there.
She's taking the $1 million.
I don't know about that. We'll see what happens.
Oh yes, gold is correct. Do you know what the cyan color is referring to by any chance?
Was it her other eye?
That's her actual eye color. Yes.
Yeah.
All
Marilyn
right,
out here going goblin mode.
Yeah. She's stomping. Let's see how she does for the $1,000 question.
This is a long question.
The anime Fruits Basket features the Soma family curse, where multiple members of the Soma family are possessed by the spirits of the animals from the Chinese zodiac. Of the following, which animal is not part of the traditional 12 Chinese zodiac animals? Is that A, pig, B, cat, C, rooster, or D, the snake?
Ooh.
It would be the cat.
Is that your final answer?
It is.
And that would be correct. First checkpoint reached.
Okay, let's see how well this next round goes.
Yeah, we're gonna turn the heat up a little bit. When Saitama joins the Hero Association in One Punch Man, what rank is he first assigned? Is that A, rank C, B, rank B, C, rank A, or D, rank S?
I believe it is rank C.
Rank C, he's the lowest rank,
Yes,
bottom of the barrel. Is that your final answer?
it is indeed.
All right, that's $2,000 quickly cashed in.
Damn, she's
Not
just
a lifeline used.
trashing your trivia.
She's cruising.
I don't want to get
through
too
it.
confident yet. How rough will the future rounds
next
be
one
is the
be?
question.
All right, let's see. Right now, for $4,000, in the anime Naruto, what is Naruto's chakra affinity? Would that be A, fire, B, lightning, C, wind, or D, earth?
It's wind, baby.
Wind, baby. Is that your final answer?
Well, wind is the baby part. No, yes.
He is a bit of a
All right.
baby, though.
He is a
Fair
baby.
enough. Final answer, and you are correct. Blowing right through it. Do you know which of these is Sakura's chakra affinity?
Sakura, I believe, is earth.
Wrong. She doesn't get one because she's a girl in the shonen anime, and they don't care about girls.
No, she does. I believe it's earth.
No, I've trust me, I've looked into it. She does not get one. Even in the
What?
deepest of lore, she does not get one because they do not care about women, and it's sad.
You know what? I'm gonna have to look this up for myself because I'm pretty sure. Whatever, it's fine.
It
That wasn't the question.
wasn't the question, just for funsies. Moving on for the next question, $8,000. What is the name of the device in Paprika that allows one to enter
Oh no.
streams? A little harder, huh? Is it A, a tachikoma, B, a DC Mini, C, a passive device, or D, a nerve gear?
You see, I know it is not nerve gear, but
Okay, why is that?
because that's from SAO.
Okay.
The other stuff, though, I mean, I've only seen Paprika once, and it's a wild ride, and I was probably really tired when I watched it, so I cannot remember what it is. I
Oh,
think
no.
it could be. I think it could be the DC Mini. But I know who I'm going to go for this question. I'm going to ask Mason what the answer is because he loves
Okay.
Paprika.
All right, we'll phone a friend, and I'll start the timer. Once the timer starts, go ahead and read the question for Mason. You can start reading right now.
Hello, Mason. I need your help. What
Yes,
is the
I'm here.
name? What is the name of the device in Paprika that allows one to enter other people's dreams? Is it the A, Tachikoma, B, DC Mini, C, passive device, or D, nerve gear?
Well, it's definitely not nerve gear.
I know this, Mason.
As
Hurry
you
up.
said, it's not Tachikoma because that's Ghost in the Shell.
5
It's
seconds, Mason.
it's a DC Mini.
I knew it. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
that was cruel.
Just ran out the timer there. But I probably should have gone with my gut, but I knew who I could trust with this answer, and I trust his answer of
I
DC
see how it
Mini.
is.
All right. Okay. Are you gonna take that as your final answer?
Yes.
All right. We'll see if you should have trusted Mason. And you absolutely should have. That's 100% correct.
All right. Thank you very much, Mason.
Thank you. I guarantee I'm not going to get any of mine right. I'm already panicking.
Mason out of the $100 question. as he said, the Tachikoma's from oh my goodness,
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. Thank you. I'm tongue twisted.
I didn't know where Passive was from though.
So that's from Inception. It's a DC mini, but in Inception.
That makes sense.
Now for the first lifeline is down, but you've made it worthwhile. So let's see what the $16,000 question holds. Mob is just a nickname for the main character of Mob Psycho 100. What is Mob's actual last name? Is it A, Kageyama, B, Arataka, C, Kurosaki, or D, Hanazawa?
Well, it's got to be A, Kageyama, because Arataka's Reigen's name. Kurosaki, I think, is from Jujutsu Kaisen. And then Hanazawa's Teruki. So, Kageyama.
I'm assuming that's your final answer?
It is indeed.
Slam that you are correct.
Wow, she's fucking killing it.
Little speed bump at the $8,000 one, but now you're back on track. All right, this one for the $25,000 checkpoint. In the anime series Food Wars, which of the following dishes was not created by Soma Yukihira? Is that A, curry risotto omurice, B, baked danzai noodles, C, dried sardines garnished with strawberry jam, or D, eggs Benedict Don fit for a queen?
Okay, so I remember some of these. Like, I know the dried sardines are real because he was gross. The curry risotto omurice, I think that was from his admission into the school. And eggs Benedict Don fit for a queen, I think that was during one of their food challenges, and it fell apart. And that was kind of an issue for a while. So I remember all these. I can't remember fake danzai noodles, so I think that's correct.
Okay, is that what you're going to go with for your
Damn, she's taking the risk.
She's going for the risk.
She's ballsy.
So, they're all actually from the show. I'm so sorry, Caroline. So close.
Are you serious? I lost already?
Brutal.
Every single
Oh no.
You had your lifelines. You made the choice.
Oh my god, I'm so upset.
You're on fire.
So your memory is pretty good. All four are actually from the show Food Wars, but someone didn't make the dried sardines. His dad did.
Are you fucking kidding?
Oh, what a fucked up question.
And a hard question.
Damn, savage.
He used dried sardines and everything, though.
I don't know what to tell you.
Rest in pieces.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so pissed.
Oh, man.
Yeesh.
She's pissed at you.
Because I thought I could go away. Are you freaking kidding?
I don't know. Those other ones were harder, if it makes you feel any better.
Well, I want to see. Now I want to see what the other ones were. So you better send it.
Right. I'll or we can always play again. But I will send it.
Yeah, true.
Mason, the champion.
Oh my god.
Oh, no,
I am
I'm
so
frightened.
angry.
Well, it sounds like, Caroline, you should get vengeance by joining our Discord's trivia nights, where you can play in games just like this with other competitors.
I'm not amused, Mason.
Trust me, I'm going to do so much worse.
I'm doubted, because you'll actually use your lifelines before it's too late.
We'll see.
All right, let's get Mason in the chair. All right, in the hot seat for $100. Let's see how you do. Which of these songs by the band Queen is also the title of an episode of Cowboy Bebop? A, Oops, I Did It Again. B, Smells Like Teen Spirit. C, Bohemian Rhapsody. Or D, Gangnam Style.
C, Bohemian Rhapsody.
So silly.
Final answer.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. And you're correct.
Ooh, okay, I think I'm gonna walk away here. I think it's been a good run. Okay.
Oh.
Good. We haven't broken it yet.
Nope, you're there. Okay, good. For $200. Which of the following is not a mobile suit from the Gundam franchise? Would that be A, the RX-78, B, the P90X, C, the PMX-003, or D, the XXXG-01W?
So I do not know my Gundam, but P90X sounds suspiciously like a workout routine. So it's not the RX-78. It's not the PMX-003. So it's either B or D. I'm going to say B, P90X is not a Gundam. Gundam robot.
You're gonna go out on your own final answer?
Yeah. I'm gonna trust my muscles on this one.
Give those muscles a kiss, because that's correct for $200.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, Andy and Frank. They always got my back.
Abu.
Abu.
All right, for $300. In Sailor Moon, what elemental power is associated with Sailor Mars? A, Earth, B, Fire, C, Water, or D, Air?
Ooh. I don't know. I think it's Fire because she has red. But I'm gonna give this actually to the chat. I want to at least get to 1,000. I just don't know. I think it's Fire. But chat, let me know. I'm panicking. At least I got to get to 1,000. Okay, I got to get to 1,000.
All right, chat. Give the man some help.
I don't have it pulled up. Someone will let me know what their.
The chat is overwhelmingly saying that it's Fire.
Okay, then I'm going to go with B, Fire. Fire answer.
Fire answer. Faith in the chat, and your faith shall be rewarded.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Mason, what's the Dairy Queen?
Question. In Haikyuu, in the anime Haikyuu, what is the unofficial mascot associated with Karasuno High? Is it A, crow, B, cat, C, knight, or is it D, badger?
We are going to go with A, crow. Final answer.
Final answer, and you're going to fly high up to $500.
Wow.
For the $1,000 question. What is the name of Jonathan Joestar's poor dead dog? Would that be A, Danny, B, George, C, Joseph, or D, Holly?
I'm going to go with E, spoilers. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go with A, Danny.
And is that your final answer?
It is.
All right. You've now made it to the $1,000 mark.
Okay. Now we can start playing.
Now the game can really begin.
Exactly. God, I'm so screwed. I'm so screwed.
Let's see how you do. All right. For $2,000, the Summer Olympics was originally set to take place in Tokyo in 2020. This was accurately predicted by which anime film? Is that A, Summer Wars, B, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, C, Akira, or D, Your Name?
So, Akira had it predicted, but then obviously with delays and stuff. I don't know if this is a trick question,
No trick. There
no
are no
tricks here.
I'll tell you this. It's as the question reads. I'll rephrase it. Which anime movie predicted that the Tokyo or Summer Olympics would be in Tokyo in 2020?
Gotcha.
As the question reads.
I think it's C, Akira. I
man,
think
he's
that's
just
what
going
it is.
out there, sticking his balls out there.
I feel like there's a more recent one that could have had that, but I think it's got to be that. I'll die.
I'm scared for you.
All right, and that is correct. It was Akira who did.
Wow.
Woo!
It's also good to know that the Summer Olympics are usually announced very far in advance. So I feel like it was already announced by the time any three of those movies.
Well, exactly. Which means I don't know if it could have been announced and then they came out and it's like, well, it accurately predicted. I don't know, but
no, but that wouldn't be a prediction.
Yeah,
agreed. But
alrighty, let's go for the next question for $4,000. Life fibers from Kill la Kill are very difficult to cut. Two of the only known weapons that can cut life fibers are the scissor blades and Satsuki Kiryuin's special sword. But what is the name of Satsuki Kiryuin's sword? Would that be A, Bakuzan, B, Wado Ichimonji, C, Murasame, or D, Toyaku Bokudo?
I believe the answer is A, Bakuzan. I don't know where B or D comes from. I don't think it's a two-name word, though. And I think Murasame is like a name of the guy who made swords or something like that. So I'm going with A, Bakuzan.
All right. Is that your final answer?
It is.
So yeah, Murasame is known for making swords, if I remember correctly. But Murasame is also the name of a lot of swords in anime.
That's true. But this
Just
isn't
not
a
Kill a
sword.
Kill.
This is
It's
a
just
big
not
old.
Kill a Kill. It's Bakuzan. Very
Nice,
good.
nice. Thank you.
The Wado Ichimonji is from One Piece, and the Toyaku Bokudo is from Gintama.
Ah, nice.
All right, so 8,000. This one's been a little tricky for everyone else. Let's see how you do. For $8,000, in Your Lie in April, what instrument was Kaori playing when she and Kosei first met? Would that be A, a melodica, B, a violin, C, a piano, or D, a harmonica?
It's an unbelievable softball.
So Kaori, known for the violin, I believe she was playing the melodica up on that like playground dome structure thing,
really?
which
What
is
the
like the
hell
little. Is that the like piano thing
The
that
hell's
you
a
like blow into?
melodica?
I can't
think-
tell you what it is, obviously.
I believe it is a melodica, and if I get it wrong, it's because I'm like, oh no, it was called something else.
Oh.
So
What a
which
weird
way,
instrument.
which way are we going?
Well, you only have 4 choices there.
I like it has keys like a piano. I think it's a melodica, right? That's my final answer.
That's your
Wow.
final answer?
It is.
That is, I'm gonna. You've been struggling with this one. I'll let you know. It's in fact a melodica.
Nice.
And just
Still in
because the Pope thinks it's an easy question, apparently it doesn't make it so.
No, I would have got that wrong. I thought it was violin.
It's so easy.
What a softball!
What a maroon. What a sucker foot.
All right, for $16,000. In No Game, No Life, the Ixid are the 16 different sentient races that inhabit this board. To which race does Jabril belong? Is that A, Phantasma, B, Demonia, C, Elf, or D, Flugel? A little harder now. Put your thinking cap on.
I felt like there was some sort of joke around it being Flugel, but I don't know if that was in this show or now forgive me, or if that was like the what was the show where they go around and have sex with monsters? Interspecies Reviewers. I don't remember if the Flugel was from this show or that show, but I believe it's Flugel. D is my answer, and I'm moderately
That's your final
confident.
answer?
Yeah.
So fun fact before I tell you who, if you're correct, Interspecies Reviewers was actually the subject for Mitsugi's $1 million question.
Oh.
That being said, Flugel was from this show, and in fact is exactly what Jabril is.
I do love a pair of particular biddies.
Nice.
All right. Moving
This is
on.
so much fun. This is so much fun.
For $25,000, this is for your last milestone. Let's see if you can jump this hurdle and not stumble on it. What is the name of the Nen beast that inhabits the body of Aluka Zoldyck in Hunter x Hunter? Is that A, Kaluto, B, Nanika, C, Zeno, or D, Subone?
I am
Damn.
going to use a lifeline.
You're going to call him Mandy?
Yeah, I wish. God, I wish. Please. I need it so bad. I guess I'm gonna call Mitsugi.
All right.
I don't know why. I feel like I need him. His guessing skills and elimination has been on point. So I will call Mitsugi here to do this.
All right. You can start reading the question right now.
Mitsugi, my friend, my brother, my savior. What
how
is
you
the
doing?
name of the Nen beast that inhabits the body of Aluka Zoldyck in Hunter x Hunter? Is it A, Kaluto, B, Nanika, C, Zeno, or D, Subone?
Well, Nanika means like something or like I don't know. So I don't think it's B. But I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. I don't know.
Okay.
know the answer.
I'm not sure why you
what would
called
you
on
guess? What would you guess?
I would say Subone.
Time is up.
Ooh.
Matt,
Can I
you
use
sound
my?
very confident.
Can I use my
use the other-
50-50?
It's a damn hard question.
All right.
Are you allowed to double up like that?
You are.
You can use all 3 on one if you want.
Okay, I'm going to use my 50-50.
All right, let's see what the 50-50 eliminates. Oh, it's between...
You know what? That's okay.
B and
That's
D.
okay. I was between B and A, so I'm going to go with B, Nanika.
I just told you it wasn't Nanika.
I know.
So,
Nanika would definitely mean like... Okay.
Yeah,
all
but
right.
you're my opponent. You're trying to get me. You're trying to cut me off.
That is not what I'm trying to do.
I know it's not Subone. It can't be
All right.
Subone.
Okay, maybe it's
is that
not.
your- Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
All right, you called up Mitsuki, you called the Pope,
Just to rub it in his face.
just to rub it in his face, and you can rub a little harder because that's correct. It's Nanika.
Hell yeah. Subone was like the person with like the weird pigtails, right?
I didn't
With,
fucking know the
with
answer
the
to that
maid.
question. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
I would have called you.
I didn't tell somebody.
No.
Yeah, she's
That's a
she's the
stupid
maid
ass
with
name
the-
though. Nanika. Give me a break.
Chat would have
And,
had
that-
Chat would have had my
yeah.
back had I reached out to them.
Had you not used that one already?
Exactly.
All right, now you're flying solo. You can go to heights that haven't been reached if you leave on this note. Which of the following anime series does not involve a character named Rin? A. New Game. B. Inuyasha. C. Wolf's Rain. Or D. Blue Exorcist.
This is gonna be just a straight up guess.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
I mean, straight up guess is just fine because if you get it wrong, you're still stuck at a 25. But
Yeah, I
you-
know. I'm,
Of course, after
I'm
taxes,
very
it's like
confident.
$6.
I'm very confident there's a Rin in Wolf's Rain. There's a whole lot of characters in Inuyasha, so there's probably a Rin there.
There are a
I
lot
have
of
not
characters.
I have not seen Blue Exorcist.
Nasty.
I do not remember a Rin in New Game, but I also don't remember characters. I'm going to go with A. D. But all the Inuyasha characters are like really.
You are, yeah.
All the
you're all over
Inuyasha
this one.
characters are really old-fashioned.
This one's tough.
B or D? B or D? Okay, so last time I guessed B, so I'm gonna go with
True.
D to mix it up. D, Blue
You're-
Exorcist. I'm very unconfident.
Very unconfident.
Yes, but
Yeah,
it is
you
my
sh-
answer.
Yeah, not being confident makes a lot of sense because Rin's the name of the main character from Blue Exorcist.
Oh
I'm so
no!
no.
The correct answer was Wolf's Rain.
What?
The one that you swore
What's
you
the
knew.
character I'm thinking of?
Wow.
No idea, but there ain't one named
Okay, well, fair enough.
Rin.
I don't know. It seemed to fit. That was like the
All
one
right.
I was like, oh, it's definitely in Wolf's Rain.
Does it mean that I win the Dairy Queen?
Well, actually, you and Mason technically made the same amount of money.
Oh, we made the same.
So
amount.
why not give it to me then, as the outlier?
You wish.
I want to answer the other questions. Oh.
Oh man.
I'm so sorry.
We'll
But-
split the Dairy Queen.
In split the Dairy Queen.
Two man-
But that was yep.
2 men, 1 blizzard. Ah! Eat your jelly beans, Caroline. Eat them. Eat them and like them.
No, I'm not gonna eat it for that. That wasn't too shocking.
All right. Well, Raggedy Doctor,
3 jelly beans left, by the way.
I'm actually going to need you to put your game screen back up there for our cameras.
Sure.
And then actually,
let
since
me
we didn't think
get that
ahead,
back up.
stick around for the rest of the podcast.
Sweet.
No, we
Sure.
don't need to make him do that.
Oh, we do, because I'm going to
I-
have to readjust all the cameras.
Yeah,
I
you
think
have
there needs to
another
be some sort of
screen for it.
tiebreaker
I do
for
not.
There
our
you go.
game. Do we not have like any tiebreaker we could do?
I
We
mean,
don't need a tiebreaker. I won the game.
You listeners
Green screen is
won,
back up.
but big thank you, Raggedy. You're the man. You're so good at this.
Thank you, thank you. Let me share it so I don't continue to make a fool of myself with this. Hold on, sharing. Boom. There we go.
See,
Perfect.
Mitz is
Oh.
figuring it out. Caroline, how about you head on us into the weekly trivia question, and then we'll figure out in post.
Thank you so much, Raggedy
Sure.
Doctor. You are truly the doctor of doctors. You are the trivia master of trivia masters, and we appreciate you. So thanks so much for helping us out.
Yep, thank you. One quick plug before I leave. Trivia night on the 24th of September is the next one. Come join. It'll be fun.
Trivia night.
All right.
Join the Discord. Get in the trivia games. It's a lot of fun. I did it a few weeks ago, and I won, baby.
I did it 2 minutes ago, and I lost. So.
With that, let's get into our weekly trivia question. In Salaryman's Club, what is the animal that crawls across the screen during the ED? We'll reveal the answer right after the news break.
Anime Addicts, Mitsuki's here, bringing you that sweet anime crack. You know you love the news. Getting us started off with some Type Moon news. Type Moon founders Kinoko Nasu and Takashi Takeuchi got in a little bit of trouble, we'll say. They are going to be going to Comiket in the coming weeks, and they're going to be promoting their doujinshi making group called Bamboo Broom. They're going to be selling 3 books comprising the miscellaneous artwork and production materials that they've put together. The first 2, Katatsuki Kahon, or Type Moon Manuscript, and the other one, Avalon Lefai Synopsis. They're going to be sold at Comic-Con and online, but there was going to be a 3rd book that was only going to be sold at the convention, which pissed off Type Moon fans across Japan. It looks like, in lieu of the fact that COVID is still very much a thing in Japan, fans are pissed off that they won't be able to attend this Comic-Con and get their doujinshi, their 3rd doujinshi from the Type Moon guys without, quote, risking their lives. So, of course, the Type Moon creators yielded, as is often the case, and decided that they would be selling a digital PDF version of some kind on the internet that people can buy as well, which may or may not have appeased people, but nonetheless, people were angry. Next up in the news, 2 things that are probably more interesting to you. Haikyuu is getting a 2-part sequel anime movie. The official website of Haikyuu announced that this movie is going to be coming out, Haikyuu Final. So the original 2 one-shots of Haruichi Furudate, they were published in Shonen Jump Next and also Weekly Shonen Jump in January and April of 2011. This property has been serializing since February of 2012. It ended its 8-year run in 2020, and it's a giant hit success with 40 million copies of manga in its circulation. And there are tons of seasons of the anime online available as well. But just know that if you're a fan of Haikyuu, there is a 2-part sequel anime movie that'll probably wrap up things coming out pretty soon here. Next up, the light novel Tensei Ojo to Tensai Reijo no Maho Kakume, The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, which has to be an isekai, is going to be coming out from Studio Dio Medea. So the director is Shingo Tamaki of Ahiru no Sora. So if you are a fan of the isekai genre, look out for this one, where despite her supposed ineptitude with regular magic, the princess defies the aristocracy's expectations by developing magicology, a unique magical theory based on memories of her past life. And one day she witnesses a brilliant noblewoman unjustly stripped of her title as the king's next monarch, gets involved with political stuff, blah, blah, blah. So if you're a fan of isekai, look out for this one, The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and the Genius Young Lady, coming out pretty soon. And lastly, some sad news. At 89 years old, Kiyoshi Kobayashi, the voice actor of Jigen Daisuke of Lupin III, has passed away. He died due to pneumonia on July 30th. Super sad, but the contributions of this man to anime are great, and we'll be able to enjoy his voice. Really, he'll live forever in his voices, including Jigen. So, but our thoughts go out to his family, of course. So, anyway, this was the news, and we'll get back to the podcast right now. Oh God, I hate this song. It's so annoying. Skip ad. Skip.
Hi, it's Vince with
Oh,
Sham
fuck
Wow.
no.
You'll be saying wow
I'll be
every
saying,
time you use this
wow, you're
towel.
so fucking
It's
annoying.
Like a chamois,
It's a
like
chamois, it's a
type of
towel. Oh,
sponge.
who
A regular
really
towel
cares?
doesn't work
Skip. Anime addicts, do you miss ads like that? Do you miss your buddy Vince from ShamWow? Of course you don't, because we don't torture you with ads like that. Instead, if you want to support the podcast, you can help us stay ad-free by going to aaapodcast.com/join. Hey, you can head over to patreon.com/aaapodcast for those of you that like Patreon. And you're going to get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, our after parties. And, of course, it's going to be commercial-free, so you get all that. What else could you possibly want? Again, over at aaapodcast.com/join. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Hey, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel, Vincent Valentine, Leron from Gurren Lagann, Guillerman from Digimon, and a bunch of other crap. And I am a total anime addict, dude. Tune in, or else.
Welcome back, guys, to the podcast, episode 640 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. And when we left you, we had an in-show trivia question in Salaryman's Club, a.k.a. Ryman's Club. I gotta be honest, I didn't know that Ryman meant salaryman, but okay.
It's Riemann. I think they just drop the Sala and they just go Riemann's Club.
What is the animal?
Salary.
What is the animal that crawls across the screen during the ED? Someone changed this question. Someone must not have liked my question very much. Was it too hard?
What did you put?
I don't think
The original question that Miss had was, according to Riemann's Club, what is the weight of a shuttlecock in badminton?
Well, they say it in the anime. That's why I made it the question. But only one time. Anyway, that's fair.
That's hard. That's hard.
It was like 5 something. Like,
She knew it.
True.
5
You're
grams.
good. She's good. She's good.
yeah. Oh, I wish I got
Anyway.
to show my knowledge in that game, but I'm still licking my wounds. I'm so pissed at myself.
You left those lifelines on the table, Caroline.
I know.
Anyway, you'll be fine.
Okay.
The answer is an iguana.
Try to drop it.
We're trying to make it easier for people.
It's
And
an
more so,
iguana.
I already made the image for it, so I was too lazy.
An iguana is the answer. So,
King
But-
in the chat is saying, is the title's literal translation actually Riemann's Club? Yes, it's actually in katakana, so it is spelled out Riman. Like, that's how it's pronounced. So, Riemann's Club.
all right. Well, now it's time for Unexplored Pictures, where Mason's going to talk about a brand new anime that just came out in theaters, Inu O. So let's hit it.
Get your popcorn ready. It's time for Unexplored Pictures with Mason.
Welcome back to the segment where I talk about movies new and old and let you know what I think about them. In this episode, we have Inu O. This is hot off the press, and if you're listening to this live, it is still being served at a theater near you. This is 2022's feudal rock opera offering by the legendary director Masaaki Yuasa, one of my favorites. And this movie is a blend of Angaku, Heike Monogatari, Belladonna of Sadness, and Mind Game. And it's good to go into this movie knowing about the Taira and Genji clans from the Tale of Heike. So either watch Heike Monogatari or read the classic epic from a billion years ago, whichever you want. Is it crucial to understanding what's happening? No, not really, but Inu-Oh is very much dealing with the aftermath of the battles and people from this story and telling the story of the people in it. So, is it essential? No, but it really goes a long way in helping appreciate what Inu-Oh is trying to do. Because back in the 14th century, history and legends were not spread by movies or podcasts or true crime documentaries. They were told in stories by no, which are like dramatic dances, or by biwa players, these 4-string lutes. And those two types of storytelling are the two main characters in this movie. We have a biwa player and a demonically altered no dancer. And they set out to kind of tell the untold stories of the Taira clan from Heike Monogatari, against the wishes of the shogun, who say, hey, we don't want to tell the stories of these people. We don't kind of want to whitewash history and only tell the parts that I want to say. So they tell these stories through the arts, song and dance, and by doing so, their arts, their performances, become part of the very history and story that they're trying to tell. So their legend and lore grows, and their rebellious performances and almost gain as much notoriety as the story themselves. And these performances that they give are very much modeled after musical icons. You have Elvis, you have Queen, you have Jimi Hendrix, and so much more. And they kind of take up the bulk third of the movie. And they're kind of the largest hurdle for most of the audience, I would think, because they tell these very long, repetitive songs that are entrenched in the aforementioned lore. So if you're not interested in what this general did with his troops to defeat this guy in this battle on this river to defeat this person, you're going to be like, is it going to end anytime soon? Because they just go on a little bit longer than they need to. And if you're like, well, that doesn't sound the most interesting, I'll tell you, it doesn't matter, because this movie overcomes the little bit of excessiveness because it is just so damn overpowering. It is intense, it is brutal, it is unearthly, it is savage, it is grotesque, it is bloody, and most of all, it is beautiful, because this is one of the most gorgeous works in anime I've ever seen. And yes, there are a lot of recycled frames and off-model cuts, but it allows for so much experimentation and ambition that it's worth the price. The camera is just so inquisitive, and it darts around and flies through scenes. And Science Saru as a studio has never looked so good. This movie is the embodiment of Spinal Tap's turning it up to 11 mentality. Not just visually, but every emotion and impact is so potent that it just goes for it in every scene, and it feels like you're being battered around by a tsunami because it's just intenseness. And I can't get over just how draining it is to watch this movie. Yeah, it's brutal because the ground is constantly straining under the weight of its characters. The moonlit skies are just hammering down on you. Some moments make you feel like Sekiro diving into the depths of the Dragon Palace. Some like the title card reminded me of SpongeBob. Like this, it's all over the place, but it's awesome. From the pre-described methods and trimming of branches to the rebellious noise and leaving a legacy. Inu-Oh is like not a movie for the faint of heart, not recommendable for some people, but it is a call that reminds us that anime is a medium and not a genre, and it can portray the most powerful of moments. And Yuasa and his characters are reaching up to heights literally and figuratively now more than ever, and it's really darn good. And if you get the chance, I recommend you watch it because it is a trip, and it is wild, and it's an experience. So,
is it worth the movie theater price of admission?
You can see it on like off hours for not too much. It was like $12 for me to get in. It's like a 90-some minute movie, and I would say, yeah, I'm certainly say it's money well spent. And luckily, a lot of times we get these anime movies that come over here for a day or two most. It's here for a week. So I went. It was not the most full theater, but I had a blast. And it's like I said, you're not going to be like, hey, mom, dad, little brother, come join me, and expect them to get it. It's not very kid friendly, but it's certainly, if you're into the more wild side of anime, it definitely pays its dues and is worth the experience.
Way to stand up for your boy, Yuasa. You know what I mean?
I love him so much. I love him so much. He's so good.
Would you spoon?
I would spoon. Big or little. Whichever he
little
wanted.
Little spoon or big spoon?
Whichever he wanted.
Oh, it's up to him. Wow.
Daddy Yuasa can do whatever.
Daddy Yuasa. Okay. I bet he's hung.
Okay, that deserves the last jelly bean.
Yes!
That's
So way to do it.
confirms it.
Oh my God.
1,900. Oh, wait a minute. I have 2 jelly beans, actually, so it's not the last one.
Never mind. We still got one left.
Hard cocks are the best kind of cocks.
Oh my God.
Eat that fucking bean. And then play with it. Play with the bean.
That kind of way.
Play with it, then eat it.
I'm not giving you that one.
Oh, that's not fair.
Giving you the satisfaction of such.
It's time
No,
for an
because, like,
almighty anime
side by side
mailbag. Anime.
Mailbag. If you guys want to leave a mailbag, aaapodcast.com/mailbag. You can submit all sorts of different types of mailbags. We could do our confessionals, topic requests, retro reviews, living big in Japan, Shark Tank, mailbags, hentai mailbags. And aaapodcast.com/mailbag. Don't make me frustrated. Just go. Just do it.
It's a place to be.
Mason,
So
you want to read the first mailbag? Who do we have marked off here?
I think Caroline should do
Caroline,
it
go
before
ahead.
my throat shreds to pieces.
This is from Yutaro Vegeta, because we cannot go an episode without Yutaro Vegeta being in here. So, he says, this is no laughing matter, AAA, or maybe it is. What anime, which aren't thought of as comedies, make you laugh the most? The question came to mind while watching Golden Kamui, which is an action show that is chock full of immature middle school level anatomy jokes. Mitsuki, do you have any ideas there?
Not really. It's a pretty tough question.
It is a tough question.
I have no sense of humor that I'm aware of. Sorry.
How about you, Mason?
This is a good question. I went with Steins Gate. It has a lot of funny moments amidst the chaos and time travel and all that stuff, but I would say it's a humor similar to Rakugo Shinju, where it's just like a natural way of characters just being humorous by way of their daily lives. You know, it's not trying to be funny, it just is.
Well, with the mention of Steins Gate, that concludes the very last jelly bean.
Oh, wow.
There we go. You
went out on that? That's weak. You should have given it to me.
No, you didn't enjoy it too much.
What flavor was it? What flavor was the last jelly bean?
Grape.
Oh, no.
Grape.
That's the worst.
What? I loved
a grape
I love
jelly
grape
bean?
You think grape is worse than licorice?
No, licorice is the worst.
Exactly.
Black
not
licorice.
the worst one.
Red licorice is fine.
Yeah. So it's not the worst one then.
I don't know how to answer this. I'm going to say blue gender because all the monsters still look like they have like vaginas on their faces. So you just can't help but laugh at a giant vagina that's like trying to eat you. So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I laughed all the way through Devilman Crybaby. There were quite a few vagina-looking monsters. So many laughs in that one.
You think it's funny when a pair of tits bites off a man's head? You think it's
You're
funny?
the one that said it. Well,
it is pretty funny.
Well, one of the things that I kind of thought of at first was Dear Brother, which I haven't finished yet, but it's kind of funny and how dramatic it is and like insane it can get. I feel like there's a whole lot of anime that made me really laugh but are not comedies, but I couldn't really think of many except for March Comes in Like a Lion, which, I mean, I suppose it's not like totally out there that there would be funny stuff in it, but my God, that first episode when it's all of them just rushing out the door trying to get to school, or it was Hinata. She's like rushing out the door trying to get to school, but she's like, oh, but maybe one last serving of breakfast. And then she goes back and she gets more, and it's like kind of manic, but it's just so funny. And then they toss like some keys and a sausage he catches with his hand is like kind of insane. And it's just one example of how hilarious it can be. So that would be my answer.
All right. Mason, you want to read the next mailbag?
I don't, but I will. This one comes from Bobasaur. Did I say it right this time? Instead of Bobasaur. Or whatever
I thought it was Bobasaur.
It's probably Boba.
I don't know. It's probably Bobasaur. I always mess it up. Howdy, AAA hosts. First and foremost, I hope you are all having an amazing weekend. My friends and I started a weekly Dungeons and Dragons campaign about 3 months ago, and it got me thinking. Are there any anime recommendations that come to mind reminiscent of D&D? or even a classic RPG like WoW. Goblin Slayer and SAO have been brought up, but wanted to explore more of what is out there. Thanks you all you do. Hashtag waifu are lifu.
Yeah,
Very nice.
they are.
And Mitsugi, what are some D&D or WoW-esque anime out there?
Well, my understanding is that D&D pretty much influences pretty much anything that most of the things we enjoy from games and anime now are inspired by Dungeons and Dragons in some way. So, like Final Fantasy, for example, definitely. So, in the sense that most a lot of RPGs have inspiration from D&D. A lot of your isekai, for example, are going to have inspirations from D&D. So the very act of leveling, I think, has some roots in D&D. So, the obvious and the easy ones are like Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. That's definitely, I'd say like, I'm gonna steal one of Mason's because he asked me. Record of Lodos War, really easy. That's definitely inspired by D&D, or at least it has inspiration from D&D. And like Jobless Reincarnation, a lot of these shows, that you watch, something as simple as Black Summoner, like these shows are they're all gonna borrow something, whether it's monsters or the concept of leveling, or how your stats influence the way you're able to play, or the job systems that shows or anime have. There's certainly a lot of these. So D&D came out, the original D&D launched in 1974 is what I'm reading right here, which predates pretty much any video games or anime for the most part. And because of that, the inspiration runs really deep. So you could probably rattle off 100 shows or more. Caroline?
Well, for me, I'm not really too familiar with D&D and RPG games and all that, but I have heard that one of the best anime recommendations for what it feels like to play one of those games is Bofuri, and I love that show. It's really fun. And yeah, I've heard SAO too, but I feel like Bofuri is more about the fun of playing a game. SAO is more like, how can we insert drama into playing a game, and that kind of thing. So I would go with Bofuri.
As for me, since we talked about it earlier, Dungeon Meshi, when it finally gets that anime, that'll probably be pretty good. That is a party adventuring and trying to get supplies and stuff, so that's pretty good. Other than that, Konosuba is a pretty funny take on D&D, and Log Horizon, like Mitt said, just because of the isekai format, has a lot of different party members with different tasks and roles. So I would say any of those should fit the bill.
All right, and with that, that's the end of our mailbags. AAApodcast.com/mailbag, and get yourself involved. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the review of one of the only remaining anime from winter 2022, Ryman's Club. We've been trying to get to it, and as the summer season chugs along, we will have time to get to some of these. Caroline, this was one of your anime. You want to lead this review for us?
Sure thing. So I impressed upon Reman's Club in episode 613. You can go ahead and check it out. It's been quite a while. And you can watch it on Crunchyroll, so it's comparatively easy, rather it being on High Dive or something. So the synopsis. The world of corporate badminton isn't as easy as it seems. Although considered a former child prodigy, Mikoto Shiratori has not been living up to his potential as a badminton player for a bank. Mikoto is recruited by a beverage company to play badminton, but the thing is that he is expected to only play or play both badminton and to actually work the job. Before he would only play badminton. And so he's kind of pissed that he actually has to work. He is forced to join a doubles team, even though he really doesn't want to. So he's trying to adjust to this new professional life. And he also begins to doubt his decision to become part of this company team. But he learns about his new teammates, and he just might be able to advance his badminton career because of it. This is from Linden Films. It's directed by Ami Yamauchi. Apparently they haven't directed anything else, and it's an original anime. So, what were your expectations, Mitsugi?
I knew very little about this. In fact, I didn't even know what sport it was about. I just knew that it was a sports anime. My assumption was that it was probably not that mind-blowing. I really hadn't heard anybody talk about it. Normally when a good sports anime comes out, I get DMs and stuff on the Discord. People have DM me and talk about sports anime sometimes. But this one was just way under the radar, so I assumed it wasn't going to be all that interesting, honestly. That was kind of my opinion going in. Whether or not that's the opinion I have now, we'll have to see.
All right, Mason.
So I've seen just about every badminton sports show out there. I've watched
How many are those?
I've watched Love All Play, and that's it. Okay, so there isn't many, and neither of them are awful. And in fact, Linden Films also did Hanebado, which was really good animation-wise, paired with some of the worst writing and drama I've ever seen. So that's about what I would have been expecting for this one, if not for Caroline just being so amped to review this thing. So I was like, okay, let's see what it's all about. Came in with a little bit of higher hopes and expectations.
All right, maybe I'm thinking that was a mistake. But regardless, I mean, I was looking forward to starting and continuing with the show because, I mean, it's a sports show with adults, which I haven't seen yet. I guess Megalobox is kind of in that realm,
yeah.
But even so, I thought it would also be really interesting since it's both a sports show and a working show. So I was interested to see how that would mix together. So let's head into our spoiler-free recommendations. Mitsugi.
This anime is very mid, in my opinion. Badminton is not interesting, also in my opinion, and I don't think it will be interesting to most people who watch this sports anime. The reality is that most of our audience is from North America, and that's in English-speaking North America. And I pulled up data on this, so I was interested in this. Badminton is about the 10th most popular sport in the United States, behind football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, tennis, golf, motorsports, and honestly, they don't seem to have MMA on these lists, but MMA is for sure close to hockey, I'd say, in sports. So badminton's probably actually closer to 11th. But there's just not a whole lot of interest. Honestly, I don't give a rat's ass about badminton. It's just not interesting. I don't think it'll ever be interesting, unfortunately. It's about as boring to me as tennis would be. I'd rather watch a golf anime, strangely enough. The incorporation of Business World in the anime was kind of a nice touch. There was definitely an episode where they were making a SWOT analysis for their drink that they were trying to promote, and I got I was very interested in that episode because I do have an MBA, and I probably have done fucking 100 SWOT analyses through college and grad school, so that was definitely close to my heart. I also have a master's in marketing, so oh boy, stretching. So this anime is kind of I could probably do that job better than these guys. But the anime really lacks stakes, I'd say, in the sports aspect. They just introduce and then bump off potential rival characters they don't matter. I almost don't care who wins or loses. I don't really care what the outcomes of the careers are. Honestly, to put a cap on this before we get to deeper discussions, I would probably not recommend this. I just don't think badminton's interesting. I don't know a single person who gives a flying fuck about badminton. I think I struggle to find anybody. If I went on my Facebook page, which I haven't been on in 10 years, and said, who loves badminton? No one's going to answer me. So it's pretty tough to pull off, I think. But so I would not recommend this anime simply because I don't know who the hell would want to watch it. It's just not a sport that interests people.
Mason?
I like badminton. I played badminton. Badminton is pretty cool. And I don't think that a sport needs to be interesting for me to enjoy it. That said, I found Raymond's Club pretty average. I like that they tried to mix up the formula by having the cast be out of high school. That said, it still feels very much like a high school show with the drama and plot. Agree with Mitsugi about the lack of stakes in the games, and I don't know, it's hit or miss. I like some of the business parts. I like working shows, but it didn't get as deep as I think I wanted. It just tried to fulfill two masters and didn't do each all that well. That said, the production was really solid, and it did not have one of those sports things where they're here's badminton. Oh, what's this? Here's a racket. How do I hold it? Where do I stay? Like they did
True.
1,000 episodes explaining how to sport. They just said, here's a sport. Look at visually, see how interesting it is. And I thought they portrayed it pretty well. So if you're really into badminton, not bad. If you're on the fence, give it a shot. If you are just like, I do not jive with the sports formula, this doesn't do anything new. That said, I thought it was a fine show.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess I'll go into my spoiler-free recommendations. I have not seen a ton of sports anime, but I will say this is 100%, 100 times better than Remain. So that should say something.
Wow.
The
What
last
isn't?
sports show I've seen, Remain, is dog shit compared to this. So, I mean, and that being
Caroline's about
said,
to rate this 150 out of 5.
I haven't seen a lot of sports anime, therefore I'm not all that jaded by the sports anime formula. So with that, I keep that in mind when I say what I feel about this show, because I thought it was really interesting. It might play to a lot of the same general tropes of any sports show that you watch, but I still enjoyed it. And I think I like the characters, and I like the switch back and forth between sports mode and work mode. I learned a little bit more about corporate teams, which I did not know existed at all until this show. So that's kind of interesting. They did include a very cartoonish and silly villain in the second half, and it became a Save the Club anime for the bit, which I was like, finally, this is going to be a sports show that's not going to have a Save the Club bit. And they had a freaking Save the Club bit, and it didn't last for too long. It wasn't like the entirety of the show, but I feel like that time could have been well spent doing other things in this show. And I thought it was so stupid, especially since the villain is extremely more cartoonish than any other character in this show. That being said, I really enjoyed watching this show. I would recommend it. I mean, I liked the badminton. It looked super good, and I was intrigued throughout, and I enjoyed the characters. So I would recommend it.
All right, well, let's get into spoilers. We'll talk a little bit deeper about what this anime has to offer at a subsurface level. And if you haven't seen Ryman's Club yet and you plan on watching it, maybe just tune out of the rest of the episode. But if you want to hear our final thoughts, stick around.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god.
I want to start off with something really positive because, there are positive things to say. So I would say that I definitely understand why Caroline passed this anime. I think it was actually quite strong at the start. It starts off with a bang. It does introduce cliches, which is like, seems like every sports anime nowadays has to have some kind of like mental trauma that like some character has. But the actual depiction of badminton I thought was very fast and engaging at the beginning of the anime, and it was really quite interesting. I think I was watching this in the Iceland airport, and Pancake was sitting over there doing something, and I was like, this anime is actually like pretty good. It's like I think was my comment about like 4 or 5 episodes in, because the badminton action is sharp and fast. But badminton is a very fast sport. Like it's definitely quick, and it's even quicker than tennis. For the most part, there's a lot very small distance for the the shuttlecock, as it's called, to travel. So. I actually think that the depiction of badminton in this show is pretty good. Like, I think as far as like animating and showing the sport. So I'll throw something nice out there to start with.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's not too much. It doesn't portray it in a haiku type way where they show like one point of a match and go through all the details and be like, oh, this person moved here and he hit a drop shot and that forced this person to come up and hit a lob shot and that made this guy come around the back and hit. Like, they don't go into like extreme details like that. It's very much a flurry of points, a montage as things are going back and forth, and it makes all the games feel snappy. And it's not about the fact that they're playing badminton, it's that they're playing badminton as a part of a larger story. So it doesn't feel like it's too dragged down, and it is snappy. It looks really good. Even before that, though, I came in, I'm like, okay, Linden Films, like notoriously kind of crummy, Caroline was all about saying it looked really good. Let's see what they can do. And there was like a super intense eating scene, like 2 minutes in, where he gets on the train, pops open the cap of like this chili pepper, pours it on, like grabs his water to chug it, and it was just framed really artistically. And I'm like, okay, that looks pretty good. And there's a bunch of small details, like their net at their crummy elementary practice facility was all like warped and misshapen, whereas the professionals was all like crisp and smooth. Like it was just a nice looking show, and it was easy to follow. It looked good. That's what I'm saying.
Caroline, you want to throw something on there?
I was going to say something, but I totally forgot what I was going to say.
Uh-oh.
What was I going to say?
Well,
was it about chili peppers?
For my part, this anime is, while you're thinking about it, this anime has two sides of this coin. Like one side of the anime is definitely badminton, the other side is the corporate stuff. And I think the corporate stuff is both a positive and a negative in this anime.
I remembered what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'll just throw this in there. Because it's like an original anime, I always feel like with original anime, there is a point in that show where it goes downhill. Like we got Babylon, went downhill. We got Wonder Egg Priority, went downhill. I feel like every single original anime goes downhill at some point, and I didn't really see that point in this one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Go ahead.
So the corporate stuff, it does enrich the characters a little bit. It gives you some more background into what they do outside of just playing a sport, and they use the corporate life as as a lot of comedic moments. Like they'd never make a fucking green onion soft drink. It's very silly. They might try, but on a temporary basis. But it's just fun to see, like, to both use the corporate stuff as comic relief and also to kind of give you more of an attachment to the characters. But I also feel like the corporate stuff in this show definitely pulls away from the badminton because sometimes they spend too much time showing you the corporate stuff, and it just serves as a distraction to break up the tension that you kind of want sometimes from sports. So I thought that was at times an issue.
I did not mind it. I think it's because there, as you mentioned before, there isn't a whole lot of tension with the games. Like there isn't a lot of stakes. So I felt like this was more about the characters and their story, and it kind of interplays with like how they are not just athletes, they're also people just trying to work a job. And that also plays into, the character growth, especially of our main character, since he is a person that was mainly focused on just playing a sport and he had no interest in actually working a job. And so here they are trying to build upon his skill set outside of the court as well. So I kind of think that it's appropriate to have it kind of separated, especially when there's not that many stakes in the first place.
I want to go back and circle on the humor later because I do think it was really good. But I think the problem I had is with the working elements, the concepts was nice. He's on a team, and oh no, there's a problem with the product trial. They thought there was like a quality issue, and one of the ingredients was expired, so they didn't have what they wanted. And so he has to get his team together, get with all his acquaintances, his past people, and have them all come together to deliver the product at the end, which, once again, conceptually is nice. But it just felt so artificial, unrealistic, and ham-fisted in how it was like delivered at the last minute with the big gaudy truck, and everyone came together for a big high five and thumbs up I get why they did it, and it makes sense. I just didn't like the execution of it. It just felt a little too much. I also thought it was ironic, maybe, Tasaru, his, mentor, is, berating our main character. Like, what? You only have one suit? Your suits are how you make a business statement. You have to have all your different suits. He only wore one suit the entire show. He always was a brown suit with a red tie. I checked. I went back. He never wore a different suit.
I love how you checked.
I was like, okay, that's fair. He probably wore a bunch of different suits. And then, nope, he didn't. So maybe he was just trying to
What if he has multiple of the same suit?
The Girl with 1,000 Dresses, or whatever that book is.
Good point.
It felt weird. Just like, there's a moment where, earlier in the show, they were talking about hey, nonverbal communication is an important part of business. Nonverbal communication is an important part of being a partner on the badminton court. Cool, great. But then the show doesn't use nonverbal communication and makes sure to explain everything with long exposition sequences. Like, I get it. I get that he has the foresight ability. We don't need to make it such a superpower.
I know, that's the
it's
main
anime.
thing that
I know.
irritated me. It's like, they all say it like it is a superpower. It's like, no, he's just observant. Just say that he's observant. That's all you have to do to make it realistic.
He's observant. He's got intuition. I believe it, but we don't need to make it a big old unlock my dormant iris ability. And yeah. But I did think the humor was good. I actually really thought there was a lot of moments where it was snappy, it made the joke, and it got out of it. A lot of anime, I feel like, they tried to make a big old, this is the joke, ta-ta! And you're left like, okay, that was kind of awkward. Whereas this show, it went for the joke and backed right out of it, and just, it felt good. It felt well done.
You know what, and the anime also, as you said, it looks good. I think it also sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
The squeaky
I remember
shoes.
somebody in the comments in one of the last episodes when Mikoto slams into that pole, and somebody goes, "I never thought I would sound like it would be such a accurate sounding of somebody slamming into a pole."
And the music is good too. You know,
yeah.
Not just the sound effects, but you know, so it's like aesthetically, I thought like overall the show was pretty nice. You know, and it wasn't too gratuitous. Like, it could have devolved into just like this ab show where like all the characters are just like having this beach training where they just like show like glistening abs and sweat and all this. And
there was that one guy though who spoke like a Pokemon gym leader about muscles. He's like, I can't believe he injured his tricep brachii. And you're like, okay, bud, like no one says that. Like,
wait, who was that?
I say it.
There was that one guy on like the Unix team or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, muscles. Oh, my right hamstring will get me through this. Abs, help me out here. And then he was talking about the injury of Azuma, the previous partner of our main character. And he was like, he injured his tricep brachii. I can't believe he came back so quickly. And it's like, nobody speaks like that, my guy. Come on. You just called it a tricep.
Let's talk about Azuma then, because I mean that was kind of the whole crux of our main character's traumas, that he got hurt in high school. And I feel like if it was a bad enough injury and that he caused enough injury that by like a stupid mistake he made, then yeah, I would kind of see that being something you would hold on to a lot of guilt. But he literally just took a step back and accidentally just like bumped into him like with his side. It did not seem like a very dramatic bump. It did not seem like something that would cause such dramatic pain to his arm that it'd be like he can never play again. It just and it also broke his racket. Like, how did that one little bump, like a little slight bump, how did that break your racket? So like when they actually played it out, give us all the details, I'm thinking like, that's it?
So on one hand, like the injuries in this show were really bad. Like, he falls apart on like a nudge, and then Mikoto like has a tiny little cut above his eyebrow, and they're like, we gotta turn him into a pirate and like just
I know.
absolutely like bandage him up for no reason. Like,
all they needed was to cover his eyebrow.
Both of those were absurd. That said, I did like how, you know, we see Mikoto's like viewpoint of Azuma's injury, and he's like, I caused this, I messed it up, I ruined this person's career, woe is me. Like, yeah, it's a little melodramatic, but it is what it is. It's fine. Yeah. It's anime. I can believe it. But then we kind of see, no, there's a little bit more to it. It's actually Azuma was pushing himself too hard. He was overtraining it, and this just like pushed him over the edge. And it just gave it a little bit more depth besides, you know, what I thought was a more generic trauma story, if you will, you know? So I like that. I liked Usuyama's relationship with his wife, who he was like, gave up badminton so he could like
look after their story.
That was probably the best part of the entire show.
It was a single episode too.
It was like 3 minutes, and that was the best part because it was just so much more grounded than what everyone else was going through.
I will say that because Mikoto found out about Tatsu's injury because he found like a piece of paper with like the script, like his doctor's information and about the injury, and then he goes and he brings that piece of paper to the coach. I'm like, that is a HIPAA violation if I've ever seen one.
And he just runs to like the train tracks that he's on, right? Like, it was the drama, just like Kanabado. It was the writing and the drama that was just like, okay, like
it's not like
we can do this better. No,
it's like a nitpick and a like kind of funny, just to think about. But still.
For me, the part where this anime kind of suffers is all the forced melodrama that they try to cram into it in different ways. It just doesn't land most of the time. We already talked about some of the injuries, but like, I mean, it's not fucking ice hockey, okay? Like, you're not gonna like just stuff that's totally like not believable at all. Like your main character, what the fuck is the main character's name? Mikoto. He falls on top of his like old teammate and like hurts his leg or something, so he like can't jump backwards. Fuck off. That is not.
No, he didn't hurt his leg. It's his partner like hurt his arm, and the reason why he can't jump backwards is that he feels or like he is apprehensive to, because he naturally like he just feels like, oh my god, I'm gonna bump into somebody. Like it's like that like, hesitation.
I just don't.
I feel like you could hesitate. I don't think it's like a full-on disability, but I would hesitate.
Well, I mean, this guy's like playing as in the rankings of like the world's best badminton players. Like something like that is probably something that you bump into your teammate like a ton of times in your life. You're not gonna. It's just not that believable to me, And the melodrama of like all the backstories. Like for example, today I was finishing this anime and I'm watching episode 12. They literally spend 10 minutes giving you some fucking backstory of like the quote unquote final boss of the anime. And I just don't give a rat's ass. Like, it's too little too late. Like, okay, you want to give me the backstory of like the bad guy for 10 minutes, do whatever you want, but you're taking like, you're telling me to watch, most of this badminton match. And then right as we're getting towards like the crux of it, you're going to like pull me out of that for 10 minutes. And by the time I get back to it, I don't even remember what the fuck was going on anymore. So like they definitely sacrifice like the buildup of tension or the sheer drama of sports to try to forcibly inject all this backstory crap. And actually, I kind of think about Remain, since you brought that up earlier. They do that a lot in Remain too. Like, it's all this. Every character has to have some like traumatic backstory. Like, no, that is not. I understand that things happen to people in their lives, but like, not every character in your fucking show is going to have some like mind-breaking traumatic experience that like haunts them forever. It's just like unbelievable. I mean, I shouldn't be watching backstories from like 20 years ago about how daddy took your like ice cream cone away and that's why you can't fucking hold a badminton racket correctly. Like, that's just stupid. So some of that stuff just really killed me.
I wanted to talk about another character. I'm trying to remember. I'm looking up what his name is. I think it's not Toya. It's the other one. It's Takeda. Okay, so he's the guy that had stage fright or whatever, and he felt anxiety when he's trying to play in front of an audience. And then they finally that one opponent he has makes him think like, oh, think of the audience naked, and then he does that in his business meeting, and that helps him. And then he does that again when he's playing badminton, and it helps him overall, and he does better, but he doesn't win the match. And it's because of that pushes him to become a coach instead. Like, he's gotten over his stage fright. He loses one single match after playing his heart out, and he thinks that's a good enough reason to quit being a player and become a coach. And after that, they don't do a single thing with him. So it's like, what was the point in that?
Well, they also spent a lot of time on the first big villain, which was I wrote his name down here. Hayato Kirishima.
There's a lot of characters.
Hayato Kirishima is the one that's like ranked 2 in the
older
world,
brother.
And they spend like several episodes on that he's in. He's definitely a recurring character. And then they just dispatch him like he's not even important, and then just move on like nothing happened.
Yeah, they do have a habit of introducing new and more characters and then kind of moving on from previous characters they've focused on.
I just kind of get the sense that the people that wrote the story don't really understand sports or don't understand badminton. Like, you're not going to run face first and do a pole on the side of the court. And if you do and you cut yourself on the face, like that injury he had looked like the weakest shit ever. put some fucking Vaseline on it, put a towel on it for like 2 minutes, and you're done. Like, you ever watch boxing? They split their eyes open in the exact same spot, and they will do anything they can to prevent that eye from closing because you need depth perception. So then the people that made this anime are like, oh, let's just put a fucking Band-Aid over his whole eyeball so he can't even like tell how far away the fucking shuttlecock is from his racket. I understand he took it off again, but like it just speaks to like I've never played sports once in my whole goddamn life because they would definitely just have a medic would just come over and like put like a towel on it for like 2 minutes and it'll quit bleeding and you just move on with your life. And then it's all this drama of, oh, I'll throw in the towel even on match point because you have a cut over your eye. Are you fucking kidding? You didn't like shit out your intestines. Give me a fucking break. It's just like ridiculous.
I know it was a really minor injury that they made out to be a big thing.
God in heaven, it's just so ridiculous. I mean, God, even if you sprained your ankle, you wouldn't quit the match. You wouldn't. You would just get up and keep playing because that's how competitors are. And you're not going to play in a 400-person tournament and get down to the final and quit because you have a tiny scrape above your eyeball. Like I honestly don't even think they wouldn't even be half of the deal they made it into. But then, you know, I also just feel like they, you know, it just didn't seem very realistic in some ways. Like they did everything they could to inject drama into the show because they weren't able to manufacture realistic drama on their own. That was really, to me, the problem with the anime.
Yeah, let's talk about the worst injection of drama, and that would be, for my opinion, would be that one of the corporate leaders trying to fire an employee under false pretenses, lying about it, and then once they realize, oh, he lied about it, you're not fired, he just shrugs it off and is like, oh, well, whatever. Not a big deal that one of the leaders of the company tried to under false pretenses fire an employee and also put up this ridiculous bet that if they can't win this tournament, he will lose his job. That's cannot possibly be. That cannot possibly hold water.
I know I'm a corrupt liar, but now that you called me out, I'm going to double down and say that actually I'm going to make a bet with you where you have nothing to gain because of it.
I mean,
okay, bud.
You may as well just fire that employee because at that point, that guy's already on the internet looking for new jobs. You know, even after I understand that Japan's like this country where changing jobs is frowned upon because some horseshit reason where you can't like look out for your own well-being, which is just another whole conversation. But like, if someone told me, "Oh, you have to like win this kickball tournament for our like department, or I'm firing you," then that would just tell me that like, one, you think I'm worth so little that I am basically just an entertainment ploy for you, that I'm willing to just be thrown like that. I would literally be on the internet that night applying to like 50 jobs. So you might as well just fire that person.
It doesn't even make any sense because there are so many people on this board that were all there to witness this one guy making a total lie that Tatsu beat up this man who just walked out on his broken foot and is quite obviously not injured. And this one person cannot fire him. It's no way.
All the boardroom meetings were so dumb. Even the earlier one, which wasn't as force of drama, but they were trying to sell them on the idea like, hey, let's try this new drink.
Yeah.
And they're all like, no, it's no good. And then they wait till the very end for the QA person to be like, actually, people liked it. You know, we did that whole event where people tried it. I'm going to wait till now to be like, people liked it. And they're like, oh, wait, they did? Okay, then sure. It's like,
they acted as if he did a favor, but he was really just doing his job, reporting actual factual information.
Which would have been at the beginning of the presentation.
That would have been in the presentation.
Exactly. It just tried too hard and missed the point a lot of ways. So
yeah, I mean, there are so many little things that just don't really make a ton of sense. And while they're trying to insert drama with this horrible villain, I feel like they could have used that for one character in particular, and that would be like Usuyama, which is like the guy who stepped away from badminton for 7 years and apparently is incredibly OP still. He's, after 7 years of not playing any badminton. I love his story, don't get me wrong, but it does not make any sense on how good he is. He does do a match with this one character called Misora, and he's like that really weird high school kid, or like very out of high school kid, and with the crazy hair. And there was not a lot of time spent on him, but they played a match and they did it off screen. But I feel like that would have been interesting to watch, considering they're kind of like different sides of the same coin. Like, here's this guy, top of his game after not being in the sport for years. He's also older. And then you got Misora, who is like in his prime years, like super good. That would have been an interesting match to watch. And they would have had time for it if they just did not do the whole cartoonish villain thing and the Save the Club thing.
They did that match over a commercial break. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all they got.
I really wanted to watch it because, I mean, they really played up Misora as being a really big threat, but it didn't really matter.
See, there are ways to make a show dramatic and engaging without injecting a bunch of shit in it that feels like it has nothing to do with sports or like the subject matter at hand. So, like, if you're watching Aoashi, which some people are watching right now, for example, that show is like, you traveled 2,000 miles or whatever with your parents' like savings, which they took years to save to try out and be on this team. Oh, and if you don't do well in this next like practice game, we're going to cut you from the team. And like that knowledge is enough. Like, you don't need anything else. Like that is plenty. And there doesn't have to be this story about how like, oh, I stubbed my finger once playing badminton and damn, I got a blister on my hand and now I can't. It's just like, give me, you don't need all this extra fluffy shit. Like, sports is dramatic enough by itself. And you almost never hear about athletes that have some kind of like dramatic trauma in their past, because if they did, and if they were that mentally weak about it, if they couldn't play badminton in front of a crowd because they had stage fright, you wouldn't fucking make it to like an elite level where you're playing, to be the best in the world. Like, you wouldn't even get through like high school level. So like that kind of shit just doesn't exist. It just doesn't.
They also say pretty often in this show, they all say these are the best players in the world. Yeah. And I'm like, they're corporate players. They have jobs. Like, these are not Olympic athletes.
I'm pretty sure China is the best country for badminton. I had to look that up, but I just badminton rankings global. I'm pretty sure China is number one. But let's see here. Here we go. Oh, the best country in the world, the best player in the world is actually from Denmark. But none of the top. Then Japan's best player is ranked 14. I don't know. It just it was fine. It was fine in some ways, and then in other ways it just wasn't fine. I think that when you take this show and you put it up against like other great sports animes, and I'm thinking about like, major cross game, a big wind up, some of these, like, it just isn't going to stand up very well because it just doesn't. I don't think it's written very well. I don't think they had the right people in place to make a convincing story about sports. In some ways, it was actually more interesting when they were doing their corporate crap. So I'm just going to score it because we're going long, like very long.
Yeah.
I just don't think this anime really stands out from the crowd. The melodrama is very unneeded and just detracts too much from the sport. And it just makes me feel like it gives me the sense that like I said, the people that made it just didn't really know quite what they were doing. And it is an original anime. So there's not like there's some like well-studied manga artist behind it driving the train from behind the scenes. So unfortunately, I'm going to give it, 2.5 match point out of 5. I think it's just a very average show. I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's not worth recommending or watching again.
All right, Mason?
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. I also am going to give it 2.5 snazzy iguanas out of 5. I think this is the best badminton show out there.
Could be.
Out of the select few.
Would you say this is the best Linden films that you've seen?
No.
Which one does that go to?
Well, Linden Films this current season has actually been really on top of their game. Yeah. They've got a lot of people coming from Shaft and other studios that are helping them out. They're doing like Call of the Night and stuff like that. And they've been upping their game. that said, who knows what will come of it. Obviously, Blade of the Immortal was pretty good. I like that, but it didn't look as good as this. So they've been around for a while, and it's nice to see them finally start to have really decent production. Because like I said, this show, I think, looks really solid. It has a lot to offer in some of the playing. It has a lot to offer in the comedy. I think it just didn't quite capture what I wanted out of the adult life and how that worked in with the club game mechanics. So not awful, not terrible. I liked it more than I was anticipating coming into it, but I would not recommend this as like a standout of the sports genre.
So
it's up to you, Caroline.
2.5?
2.5, yeah.
Oh, okay. You see, I really enjoyed this show, as I have mentioned before, and I will, shit on it a little bit during our review because there are some ridiculous moments that kind of don't make sense or you don't think it's really how it would play out in real life. But regardless, it looks good. It sounds good. I like the characters. I love when Mikoto gets drunk and goes on rampages and kind of points out everybody's flaws. I thought it was pretty funny. And overall, I just really liked even though you guys were not all that, I don't think it was really balanced, the whole work and sports thing. I thought it was pretty well balanced for me personally. And overall, this is probably one of the best sports shows that I've seen, but I have not seen all that many. With that, I was kind of going for, when we were discussing it, I was kind of thinking maybe 3.5 for me. But overall, I think with my enjoyment of the show, I would probably give this 4 green onion sodas or 4 green onion ginger ales out of 5.
Damn, son.
Nice. Glad you dug it.
Coming in with the thunder.
Girl, we need to get you some ping pong.
I do need to still watch ping pong.
Ping pong is pretty great, yeah.
Go. Not to compare shows to one another, but damn.
I would imagine ping pong is a lot, or just like more impressive than this one. I will say that. I imagine it's probably more impressive.
It does a lot. I'm gonna shut my mouth before I go down this train. It's good.
Okay.
Watch ping pong, people. Anyway, that was our show.
Woohoo!
We did it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch the podcast today and listening from wherever you're listening. On whatever mobile device or service you're using. We appreciate everything you do. We appreciate that you tune in. It makes things more fun when we got great people like our Raggedy Doctor listening in and pitching in. So thanks to him again. Again, if you want to join the Discord, go check out the Trivia Club, the Game & Watch organization that we have on there. It is a lot of fun. We are on Twitter, so hit us up at AAA Podcast on Twitter if you want to check that out. Of course, we're on Facebook. Caroline will tell you we're on TikTok, but she's behind. As she says, she smiles, she thumbs up. But Discord is your first stop, I think. If you want to check out the Discord, there's a lot of stuff on there to do. It's a pretty big Discord for a small/medium. I don't know if we're medium or small size podcast. I don't know. We're doing pretty good, but it's a
lots to talk about there.
It's a very active Discord. Do you guys want to have anything you want to promote before we say goodbye?
I will not be here next week. Sorry, going on a bachelorette trip, going to the beach. So I'll leave the show to you guys.
Watch ping pong, watch Inuo, be my friend, see you on the Discord.
And again, if you want to support the podcast, you can get all of our extra content over at aaapodcast.com/join. It is a show for the people, by the people, so every little bit counts, guys. And tell a friend. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.